Good afternoon. It's time now for the luncheon edition of news for today, Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Coming up in the news, Grenada records second quarter boost in investment migration revenue as spending declines. In the region, the bodies of 27 people recovered from Guyana's vessel tragedy. On the international front, Andy Burnham promises help with household energy bills in the first policy. And in sport, World Cup champ Spain gets heroes welcome home. We have details to these and other stories when we return. The first segment of the news comes to you compliments, Bryden and Miners. With the details, I am Christlina John. The Ministry of Agriculture has recognized more than 15 young agricultural professionals for successfully participating in training programs at the University of Guyana, marking an important step in strengthening Grenada's agricultural sector. A recognition ceremony was held on Monday, where graduates reflected on their experience and future goals. Minister for Agriculture, Land and Forestry, Honorable Lennox Andrew, highlighted the importance of the young people in acquiring valuable technical knowledge and skills that can contribute to Grenada's development. Chief Extension Officer Lawrence St. Louis also congratulated the participants for their resilience and commitment throughout their studies, encouraging them to continue striving for excellence while using their knowledge to support the agricultural sector and inspire others. Permanent Secretary Javon Williams encouraged the graduates to pursue further education and specialized training, emphasizing the need for highly qualified professionals to help advance Grenada's agricultural industry. Graduates shared their appreciation and their aspirations, including pursuing higher education, starting agricultural businesses, supporting local farmers, and promoting innovation within the sector. Ministry officials also highlighted opportunities such as entrepreneurship support, startup grants, additional training, and possible access to land. During the event, participants showcased products developed through their training, including wines, baby foods, and dry herbal blends. The Ministry of Finance says Grenada's Investment Migration Authority generated $43.3 million in net revenue during the second quarter of 2026, an increase from $26.6 million during the same period last year. The strongest growth came in April, when net revenue rose to $13.4 million compared to $3.1 million in April of 2025. Second quarter earnings also improved by $4.6 million over the first quarter of this year. Despite the stronger second quarter performance, total revenue for the first half of 2026 declined to $94.6 million, down from $103.7 million during the same period in 2025. The ministry's report also showed a significant reduction in expenditure, with total overflow falling by more than $13.5 million from $25.8 million in the first half of last year to $12.2 million this year. Contributions to the National Transformation Fund remained relatively steady at $26.2 million, while revenue from government-approved investment projects increased to $16 million, up from $12.4 million a year earlier. The financial figures were released as part of the Ministry of Finance's quarterly reporting. However, the Investment Migration Authority's statistical report, including application numbers and applicants' countries of origin, have not yet been released. The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union Limited is the title sponsor of the Miss St. Andrew National Carnival Queen Contestant 2026. reaffirming its commitment to youth development, community empowerment, and the preservation of Grenada's cultural heritage. The credit union says its support and sponsorship reflects a continued investment in initiatives that provide young women with opportunities to develop leadership skills, build confidence, and serve as positive ambassadors for the parish of St. Andrew. According to a statement from the institution, the Carnival Queen competition offers contestants a platform to showcase their intelligence, talent, poise, and commitment to community service while celebrating the tradition of Spice Mass. As a member-owned financial institution, the Grenville Cooperative Credit Union says it remains committed to investing in programs that promote personal growth, education, leadership, and social development across Grenada. The credit union also extends best wishes to Miss Nicola Thomas as she prepares to represent St. Andrew in the national competition and commended the pageant organizers for their continued efforts to promote culture and provide meaningful opportunities for the nation's youth. Finally, on the local front, the Rural Development Unit, the RDU, is set to launch a new training series aimed at strengthening the financial and legal skills of rural agribusiness owners in St. Patrick as part of ongoing efforts to improve the sustainability and profitability of rural enterprises. The initiative follows the RDU's engagement with farmers and fishers across the parish, where it identified that while many producers excel in agricultural outputs, they continue to face challenges in managing business finances and navigating legal requirements. The program builds on the success of the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIEP, which previously delivered 12 financial management training sessions across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. According to a 2025 impact assessment, 89% of participants reported actively applying the financial management tools learned during the program, with many expressing interest in more advanced training. Responding to that demand, the RDU expanded its capacity building program earlier this year by training 36 beneficiaries of the United Kingdom Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, that's the UKCIF, at Concord, St. John. The upcoming St. Patrick training series represents the next phase of the RDU sub-office's outreach program and is expected to benefit approximately 70 agribusiness operators. The sessions will be held from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesday, July 28th at St. Patrick's Anglican School in Sateres and on Thursday, July 30th at the Pavilion in Plains. Participants will receive practical training in financial planning, cash flow management and budgeting, costing and pricing strategies, profitability analysis, business record keeping and traceability, tax management, statutory compliance, business resignation, business registration, access to legal aid, and developing a strategic financial mindset. The RDU said the primary objective of the group extension activities is to empower rural entrepreneurs with practical, financial, and legal skills that will improve their livelihoods and strengthen their businesses. By the end of the training, participants are expected to be able to calculate unit costs, distinguish between bookkeeping and accounting practices, accurately track business incomes and expenses, and access formal legal support to enhance the operation and growth of their enterprises. On this note, we end the first segment of the news, which came to you compliments Brighton and Miners. Original Outlook is up next.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Come back and now for a look at what's making news across the region. While the bodies of 27 people recovered from Guyana's vessel tragedy, we'll hear more on that in today's regional roundup from the OCM News Network. This segment of the news, the second segment, comes to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited.
GBN presents Spice Up the Esplanade Mall Courtyard Soca Mona. Free, exciting Wednesdays of electrifying soca action. It kicks off with the quarterfinal Wednesday, July the 22nd from 3 to 7:30 p.m. The semifinals Wednesday, July the 29th from 3 to 7:30 p.m. The grand finals on Wednesday, August the 5th from 4 to 8 p.m. where champions are born and legends rise. Powered by Flow, Huggins, Amsa Coatings, Glenelg Natural Spring Water, Grenada Distillers, Tropical Catering Services, Ride Go, Sandals Grenada, Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, National Lotteries Authority, Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, and SP's International Trading, with support from Spice Mass Corporation, Grenada Film Company.
In Guyana this morning, where government as well as search and rescue officials remain very confident that more persons would be found alive, even as the bodies of 27 people have so far been recovered. The MV Barima capsized last Saturday evening with more than 179 people on board. The ferry was on its way from Georgetown to Port Kaituma, a small village within the Barima-Weni administrative region of the country, when the deadly incident occurred. Prime Minister Mark Phillips told a news conference yesterday, although the official manifest of the vessel indicated 116 passengers and a crew of 17 had been on board the vessel, the numbers are changing.
We did mention that we've put together an investigative body, right? And they would have worked overnight. And coming out of the work that they did overnight in terms of reviewing footages as the boat was loaded, okay, with the passengers and cargo, we arrive at a figure of 179, right? That include a crew of 18, okay? 179 include a crew of 18. We have since rescued 69. We've recovered 27 bodies, and the remainder is 83. That is deemed as missing.
He said among the dead are 4 children. Meanwhile, President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, is giving firm assurances to those affected.
I wish to assure every citizen that we are sparing no effort in this ongoing rescue and recovery mission. Every available asset is being deployed. Every agency is working around the clock. We will continue this effort with determination and resolve until every possible avenue has been exhausted.
The head of state promises a thorough probe.
I also assure the nation that there will be a full, thorough, and independent investigation into this tragedy. The families affected, and indeed the people of Guyana, deserve answers. They deserve to know precisely what transpired and whether any failures contributed to this heartbreaking event. We'll pursue the truth with transparency, impartiality, and accountability.
And Jamaica's government has expressed deep sadness at the capsizing of the MV Barima and the distress the incident has caused. State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, said yesterday the government stands in solidarity with the people of Guyana, especially the families and loved ones of those affected.
I can confirm that Dr. Holness has been updated on developments in Guyana and has publicly indicated that Jamaica is saddened at the capsizing of MV Barima, and we're hopeful that as many lives as possible are saved. Dr. Holness has extended Jamaica's commiserations to his counterpart, President Irfan Ali, in Guyana, and has indicated that the people of Jamaica stand in solidarity with the people of Guyana in this very solemn and sad moment.
Trinidad and Tobago has deployed air and naval support and a crew of 27, including 7 divers, to assist in rescue and recovery efforts in Guyana. This has been confirmed by the country's Defense Minister, Wayne Sturge. The minister says the country has deployed a C-26 aircraft for search and rescue operations. He said yesterday one of the country's larger Daman vessels has been deployed as well, carrying the Trinidad and Tobago dive teams to assist with search, rescue, and recovery efforts. Minister Sturge said a crew departed Trinidad and Tobago last Sunday evening. He said he is saddened by the events and there is an in-depth investigation so that there is accountability as well as lessons learnt for the future. And the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, says it continues to closely follow the ongoing search and rescue operations. In a statement, CARICOM lauded the courage, dedication, and selfless efforts of the rescue teams who mobilized overnight in challenging conditions in order to save lives.
GBN Massology is back. We're officially on the road to spice up the Carinage 3.0. And it all starts here. Live from GBN Studios every Friday at 1:30 p.m. Streaming across GBN platforms, bringing pure energy, culture, and spice man's vibes straight to your screen. Hosted by Charlton, powered by Graphic Sound System, featuring fresh faces and seasoned stars. Massology is where the culture takes center stage. WhatsApp 407-8458 now to secure your spot on Massology. And don't miss the repeat broadcast at 8:30 p.m. This is Massology, the heartbeat of Spice Mass. Don't miss it.
Thanks for staying with us. And now for a look further afield. Pakistan is hosting Iran's Interior Minister for talks amid and aimed at salvaging a collapsed memorandum of understanding between Washington and Tehran. Iran's foreign ministry says diplomatic exchanges with the U.S. through its mediators are continuing despite the escalation. Here are details in this report.
Officials say the visit goes beyond bilateral ties, with discussions expected to focus on keeping diplomatic channels open and preventing further military escalation between the US and Iran. Iskandar Momini has already met Pakistan's Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi, who expressed hope that the talks with the Iranian delegation would yield good news, signaling continued efforts to resolve the crisis through dialogue. Later, he is also scheduled to meet with Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and the Chief of Defense Forces Munir.
Andy Burnham says he will remove sales tax from domestic electricity bills this winter in his first major policy announcement in the role since replacing Keir Starmer on Monday. The government says the move will be funded by scrapping a digital ID program. This will apply to households in England, Scotland and Wales from October.
About 42 quid a year, or around £3.50 a month for that average dual fuel price cap amount used. So not big changes. So when he came in and said, we're going to make big changes to how people feel, is this all or is there more to come? There's been a lot of talk about maybe looking at those frozen tax thresholds. That would certainly make a big difference to a lot of people who've been pushed into paying tax for the first time.
The sporting highlights are up next. And now for your sporting highlights. Well, new World Cup champion Spain began their celebration parade on an open-top bus through the streets of Madrid on Monday early evening. Local authorities say a jubilant crowd of over 1 million people turned out to celebrate. The players, some shirtless, others holding drinks, set off on their procession under a blazing sun along the main arteries in the city's center, where a sea of fans in red and yellow were waiting with the destination Thebalis Square. After flying back from the United States to Madrid, the players were received by King Felipe VI and the royal family, and then Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez before kicking off the parade. Players passed through the gleaming World Cup trophy and waved to a sea of delighted Spanish fans in their red and yellow the day after defeating Argentina 1-0 in extra time in New Jersey. Ferran Torres' strike in extra time was enough to bring Spain their second World Cup, following a first victory in 2010. Spain captain Rodri held the World Cup trophy aloft at the top of the stairs as he descended from the Iberia plane that flew the team home after clinching their second star. And that's just sporting highlights. Do stay with us for a recap of the headlines. Recapping the headlines that made the news today, Grenada records second quarter boost in investment migration revenue as spending declines. In the region, the bodies of 27 people recovered from Guyana's vessel tragedy. On the international front, Andy Burnham promises help with household energy bills in first policy. And in sport, World Cup champions Spain get heroes welcome home. This has brought us to the end of the luncheon edition of news for today, Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. On behalf of the entire news team, I have been your presenter, Christlina John, thanking you for having joined us.